Check out this little visual trick right here. A sleek image with a subtle offset border that gives it a nice layered look. It's called a transposed border effect, and honestly, it adds that extra polish to your design with barely any code. And the fun fact is that this exact effect was actually a part of Deloitte Tech 2025 full stack developer interview round. So not only does it look great in the real world UI, it's also a kind of thing that top companies are testing for. First off, what do we mean by transposed border? Basically, it's a visual trick where the border is placed behind the image but slightly shifted, usually diagonal. This gives a subtle 3D or layered effect, making the UI pop up without being too flashy. Think of it like a drop shadow, but made just out of CSS borders. Let's take a closer look at the HTML. We start with a basic container div that centers everything and wraps the content. Inside that, there's a heading, nothing fancy, just a title. The interesting part begins with transposed image container. This acts as a parent wrapper that helps us position things relative to one another. Inside that, we have two key elements. First, the image wrapper. It holds the same image and gives us a layer we can stack above the border. And the second is gonna be transposed border. This is actually an empty div. It doesn't have any content, but we used to draw the border shape and position it behind the image. For this image wrapper, the alt name gonna be sample image, width is 300, height is 400. The reason we separate these into two layers is so we can layer and offset them independently. The image stays clean and sharp while the border gets pushed slightly down and to the side. That gives us the cool transposed effect without messing with the image itself. Alright guys, now let's dive into the CSS. This is where the transposed effect really comes to life. First up, we start by centering everything using the container class. A simple text align center makes sure all the content is aligned nicely. Then we give a h1 tag a bit of breathing space with the margin bottom, and also let's increase the font size slightly to making the heading look like a pop-up. Moving on to the next class, which is our main game changer here, transposed image container. This is the key wrapper that lets us layer the image and the border on top of each other. We set it to position relative, so any absolute position elements inside it, like our border, are aligned based on this container. Now, the next class is the image wrapper. This image wrapper holds the actual image and gets a z-index 10, which pushes it above the border layer. This is important because we want the image to appear on top with the border tucked behind. Now for the image itself, we give it a top right and bottom left border radius just to add a little bit of style. The reason is it's gonna soften the corner and makes the layout feel more modern. We also set display block to remove any default spacing around inline images, and object fit cover to make sure the image scales nicely inside the frame without any distortion. And now the main star, transposed border. We use position absolute here to place it exactly where we want inside the container. By setting top 15 pixel and left 15 pixel, we nudge it slightly down to the right. This gonna create the transposed or offset effect. The border is simple 2 pixel solid, and we match the border radius here exactly to the image so it hugs the same shape and looks cohesive. Finally, z-index 0 sends it behind the image layer, and just like that we have created a layered modern border effect using just pure CSS. And yes, that's it, guys. A fully functional, interview worthy transposed border effect. It's just done in under 30 lines of code. If you found this helpful, drop a like, share it to your dev friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Soumya Voice for more detailed and front end magic. Hit the bell icon below so you never miss out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.